Okay, after the 12-minute flight we had, gas tank is still a little more than half full. So 12 minutes, half a tank of gas, with plenty to spare. Okay. Alright, we just landed. We're going to refuel the airplane. Get out my fueling stuff. Put on my forceps. Pull out the fuel, green fuel tube. Over on this side so you can see it. So here we go. Now the tank was half. I'll pull that off and watch it. 3/4, close to full. Okay. When the overflow is starting to rise, I'll crank it back down. Overflow is empty. Good enough. So, overflow. Back on the muffler. Green fuel tank. Green fuel filler fuel line. Gets a stopper put back in. Backward crank this just to empty the fuel out of the fan pump. Put that in there. Zip that closed. Get the starter out. Everything else away. Starter goes there. Bag goes on the ground in front of the airplane so the starter wire won't hit anything. Fuel tank looks good. Post and pre-flight inspection all in one. Here we go. The fuel tank looks good. Seal valve looks good. Don't need the forceps anymore. Need to start it with that on there. Okay, that looks good. Wheels look good. Wing bolts are still nice and tight. Check underneath. Everything looks fine. Main wheels are good and tight. Wheel looks good. Alright. I think we got a good airplane to go fly again. So post-flight and pre-flight check looks good. Alright, gonna stop the camera here. Okay, ready to go. GoPro is on. Airplane is refueled, ready to start. Let's get the radio and the starter. Flow driver. Radio is on. Winds, looking good. Winds are variable. Typical March, end of March day. Okay. Trim up to neutral, turn on the radio, turn on the aircraft. Radio looks good. Everybody thinks working, move the throttle up to 30%, 40% maybe, 30 to 40%. Throttle up. Okay, second start should go easy. Okay. Airplane is tied against the stand. Ready to go. Idling a little high, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. A little low. Ready to go. Checking GoPro camera one more time. Okay, GoPro looks better. Carefully putting radio over GoPro and head. Here we go. I like this second pilot station because I can see the windsock when I take off in that direction. Making a slow turn into the wind so my wing doesn't pick up. Alright, winds are down the runway 5 knots, maybe coming up to 8 knots. And we are ready to go. A little bit of wind assisted takeoff there, jumped in the air. Keep the downwind a little tighter, not too high. Power back to 50%. Watch the gusty winds in the downwind. Turn to final. Power's idle, coming on down. Idle power. Up a little bit. Idle power again. Winds are coming on a little stronger. Okay, a little bit of extra gust there prevented the touchdown. So, a little bit of wind prevented the touchdown. It needed to float, and winds just blew it up a little bit. So just go with the flow, make it go around. Just lower the birds. Okay, turning into the wind here, turning final. Okay, gonna leave the power idle this time. Let it come on down. Alright, a little bit of gusty wind. 10-minute time remaining. I think I can make a takeoff from there, right into the wind. That was directly into the wind, although it was across the runway a little bit. Short little takeoff. Winds are picking up to 8 to 10 now. If we get any higher, I'm going to quit. But stay gusty over 10. Before I turn the camera on, I did check the wind meter, and it was 6 to 8. And so I watched the windsock when it was 6 to 8, and that's what the windsock looked like, 6 to 8. Lots of crosswind. You can see it crabbing into the wind up there. Okay, I'm going to leave a bit of crab into the wind on downwind. 6.2 volts. Okay, nice wide turn on downwind. The final. Throttle is idle. Here we come around. Winds are picking up. I'm going to make it a low pass. No problem with making a low pass with winds picking up. Got plenty of time to land. This landing is going to be across the runway. We'll get to this corner. Pull that engine back. And right into the wind. Very good landing. Winds calmed down a little bit. That was not a bad landing. We're going to do a touch and go because of the winds, gusty winds like that. Don't want to risk the airplane at this point. Okay, nice gentle taxiing on the grass out here. You want to turn into the wind, and then when the wind's across to you, you want to have your aileron toward the wind. I'm going to turn to the right here. Put a bit of right aileron to keep the wing where it's supposed to be. That's an okay place for takeoff. Winds are calmed back a little. Plenty of voltage on the flight pack. 6 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. Alright, here we go. And it stalled on me. Not sure why it did that. We'll take it back and restart. But I'm always going to turn the airplane off. Turn the radio off. Pick up the airplane. You might see I got lots of grass stains on the prop already. I may have the throttle set a little low. I'm going to put the throttle trim up 3 or 4 clicks on this restart here. Now, a lot of restart. I always check the fuel tank is at least 3/4. Not a problem for fuel. Take this off. Alright, radio on. Aircraft on. Put the idle up a little bit, put the throttle up a little bit. Grab a starter. And grab a flow driver. Come around here and grab the starter. Put it where it belongs. Everything ready. Okay. Throttle looks good, throttle's moving. All the pre-flight check is complete. Free taxi, up, 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 right. I'm changing the idle just based on sound. That sounds good. Okay, we got 6 minutes on the first flight, so I'm going to fly till the timer says 6 minutes. Plenty of voltage, plenty of fuel. Okay, winds are direct cross but light. I have to watch the winds. Looks like they are shifting on me a little. Power back. Light winds on a cross. First pass is going to be a low pass. See what the winds look like at altitude here. Still a bit of a crosswind, although maybe not as much. Maybe the winds are dying down. We'll see. A little wide. Yep, here comes some wind. It's going to be a low pass. Okay, direct crosswind. Not good. Alright, direct crosswind of 8 knots is not real good for this airplane. Wait for an opportunity to land into the wind a little. Wind feels good. I'm going to go ahead and land. Cross the runway. A little 180 on the landing. Prop didn't touch, so I can still fly it or drive it in. And direct crosswind does play a little havoc on the landings. But we're going to leave it there. Now I taxied in a little too far, ignore that. That was because of the wind. Gotta blame something. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna turn the airplane off. Airplane is off, radio is off. I'm going to set the airplane on the ground just because of the wind. And I'm going to take a break for lunch and see what the winds are doing after lunch. See you later.